What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of our after week whatever tier list ranking for the NFL. And this is going to be our after week 14 ranking for the NFL. And yeah, if you've been here before, you basically know how it works. So welcome back. I hope you've watched this far because we're 14 weeks in. But yeah, as you know, we do a tier list ranking where we go through each individual game. We talk about whether a team's going to win it all, whether they're contenders, a playoff contender, teams that I have no idea about, teams if they're mid, if they're trash, and if they are dookie. I got rid of the last category where at first it was the Jets, and then it was something else, and then it was the Steelers. We'll talk about why I got rid of that category because I probably should just have it as the Titans, which we'll just say the Titans are dookie. But for now, we're just going to go through and talk about each game, week 14, and then do a tier list ranking based off of that. And before we get into all of that, hey, thank you guys so much for helping us get to where we're at right now. If you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and that bell notification so you never miss a video. And check us out on all of our short form platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Shorts. You guys know where to find us. Check out our website, hailmary.media. And I want to give a big shout out to Underdog and to Sleeper. Sign up with Underdog, or sign up on Underdog and Sleeper using the code HMM. Get yourself a free 0.5 pick. Plus, you can get yourself a deposit match as well. And with the holidays coming around, they are doing some crazy, crazy deals. So do not miss out. Sign up for Underdog, sign up for Sleeper, use the code HMM. Do not miss out. Let's jump right into this tier list. So we're going to start it off. We go through each individual game. We'll start off with the Thursday game that we had this week. It was the Lions versus the Cowboys. And we'll start it off. We'll talk about the loser of that game. The Cowboys scored 30 points. The Lions scored 44. It was a weird game. George Pickens looked really weird. Right now, for the Dallas Cowboys, I am going to put them in the mid category just because their offense is so good, but their defense is so much worse than how good their offense is. Does that make sense to you guys? The Dallas Cowboys right now are such a weird team. And while they have the potential, I guess, to sneak their way into the playoffs, it's going to be tough for them to even do that. I think that this defense is so historically bad right now that I don't really feel that they can do much of anything throughout the remainder of the year. This is a very mid football team. And we already saw that when everything isn't clicking on the offensive side of the ball, CeeDee Lamb got hurt. George Pickens was kind of having a rough game. They still scored 30 points, but it just wasn't enough to beat the Lions. And then we'll just go to the Lions right now. They are playing like contenders. And I could go back and forth that, like, some weeks I have no idea where to put this team. There are some weeks this team doesn't look like they've ever touched a football before. They've never played organized football, but the way that they're looking right now, 44 points. I get that they gave up 30, but Dallas does have a very good offense. I feel that with the way that Jahmyr Gibbs is playing, they got Amon-Ra St. Brown back and healthy. I feel when everything is clicking for this Lions team, they are absolute contenders to win it all. Next game we're going to talk about, the Seattle Seahawks bullied and beat down the Atlanta Falcons 37-9. What is going on with the Falcons? They are in a rough spot right now. I'm going to put them just in the trash category. Their quarterback got hurt. There's no Drake London for tonight's game. Bijan Robinson's kind of up and down. They have the talent across the board. This was a team that people actually thought could win the NFC South. They're not very good. I fully expect them tonight to get dominated by a healthy Buccaneers team. It's not looking good right now for the Atlanta Falcons. They are a very, very trash team, and just build for the future, I guess. You still have Michael Penix Jr., hopefully. The guy's had like 12 knee surgeries in his career, but we'll see what happens with him. Hopefully he can come back, still play at a high level for you guys, because you did use a first-round pick on him. And the Seattle Seahawks, 1,000% are contenders. This is a game where you had to beat up on the Falcons, and they did exactly that. We have our questions about Sam Darnold and whether he can actually get it done in a playoff scenario. We saw what happened last year when he was playing for the Vikings. But I do feel that this is a much better situation for him right now. Incredible offense, incredible run game. Jackson Smith-Njigba could be argued as the best wide receiver in all of football right now. The Seattle Seahawks are clicking. I have a feeling that they could make it to the Super Bowl, potentially win it all. I'm not ready to put them in the win it all category, only because when they did play the Rams, they got absolutely dominated. Sam Darnold had a rough game, 4 interceptions, but they are still contenders to absolutely win the Super Bowl. The next game we're going to talk about is the Bills versus the Bengals. This was a crazy game. Bills end up beating the Bengals 39-34. Back and forth affair. Joe Burrow kind of ended up giving it away for the Cincinnati Bengals right now. And I'm taking it not as a totality of the season, because if I would, I'd put them in the Dookie category. But with Joe Burrow back, this is a very mid team, which is good because where they were at before, where they were in Dookie and trash, they're getting better. I just think that the season has slipped away from them so much that Joe Burrow got hurt that I don't think it's salvageable right now. And if anything, I feel like you should probably shut down Joe Burrow, especially now with his comments saying, like, kind of doesn't know what's going on with the situation with the Cincinnati Bengals. And maybe there's going to be other teams calling to try to bring in Joe Burrow. But with him on the field, with Jamar Chase on the field, with T. Higgins, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of like the Dallas Cowboys. The defense is bad. We already know it's bad. Trey Hendrickson's out for the year. But as long as those 3 guys are healthy, this is a mid team. And they could beat anybody, but they could also lose at any moment because of how bad the defense is. And for the Buffalo Bills right now, I'm only going to put them in the playoff ranking just because, listen, they did play a team that was very, very good on the offensive side of the ball. They almost lost, though. And the Bengals defense is terrible. Like, I understand. Listen, they scored 39 points. That's great. But this is a game that you got to pull away. You're playing in your home stadium. It's snowing out. You got to take advantage of that situation. And if you're barely putting away a mid team right now, like the Cincinnati Bengals, I don't really see how you can go on and win a Super Bowl. That's just my opinion right now. While the Bills are still an awesome team, they're very fun to watch. They are flawed, but as long as they have Josh Allen, they are definitely a playoff contending team for sure. Next up, the Tennessee Titans beat the Cleveland Browns 31-29. This was a very highly anticipated matchup because we had Cam Ward versus Shedeur Sanders. Now, listen, I already have the Titans in the Dookie category. They're not very good whatsoever. And unfortunately, I'm going to put the Browns in the Dookie category as well because this is a game that you should win. 1,000%. Shedeur played well. He threw for over 300 yards. He accounted for 4 touchdowns. Your defense is supposed to be super elite versus a Titans team that is abysmal on the offensive side of the ball. And you guys gave up 31 points. The Browns, they're slipping. Is it a reason for them? Like, are they tanking right now? Who knows? Are they putting Shedeur in a bad situation? Who knows? But as of right now, the Browns are absolute dog water. This is a game they should have won, especially with how good Shedeur Sanders played. It's not the best right now for the Cleveland Browns. They are probably the worst team in the NFL. But at any moment, Myles Garrett can go off, so who knows? The next game we're going to talk about is the Minnesota Vikings dominating. J.J. McCarthy completely flipped the narrative after this game. Vikings win 31-0 versus the Commanders after a game where the Commanders went to overtime with the Denver Broncos. I can't believe it, how good the Vikings looked in this game. And right now, though, I'm still putting the Vikings in. I have no idea. 1 week, J.J. McCarthy does something like this, 31-0. The next week, he looks like absolute trash. 1 week, the defense is incredible. That game that they had against the Bengals, the defense was the reason they beat the Bengals. And then the next week, the defense just completely blows up and gives it all away. I have no idea about this team right now. I don't know if they're going to find their way into a playoff picture. I don't know if they're going to find their way into a top 10 pick. Literally anything can happen right now with this team, even as if we're in week 15. It is such a weird team right now. But hey, J.J. McCarthy kind of, for 1 week, I'll say for 1 week, flipped the narrative on the whole 9 talk and people making fun of him. And Patrick Mahomes was the one getting the 9 meme. So I guess that's good for JJ McCarthy. And then talking about the Washington Commanders right now, listen, they're missing a ton. They're just trash. Um, Missing Jaden Daniels, missing Terry McLaurin for most of the year. I get it. They have an old team. They're just very trash, but they show you some weeks that they have the potential to be competitive. Again, 2 weeks ago, they went to overtime with the Denver Broncos, and then this week they lose 31 to nothing. Like, they have the potential. I'm not going to put them in the category with the Browns and the Titans right now, but man, this is abysmal of an effort. I think they were only like a 1-point underdog in this game as well. It's terrible right now what's going on with the Washington Commanders. I hope this is just one bad year. I hope this isn't like a multi-year thing. I hope that Jaden Daniels can come back fully healthy, but man, things are ugly right now for Washington. You really, really hate to see it. Moving on, the next game that we're going to talk about is the Dolphins beating up on the New York Jets 34-10. New York Jets, to me right now, I am going to put them in the Dookie category. Tyrod Taylor got hurt. Don't know what's going on with him. Justin Fields isn't practicing. It seems like they're in full-on tank mode. Obviously, they got rid of Quinnen Williams. They got rid of Sauce Gardner. This is just a very, very bad team, and you expect them to lose games. Now they don't have Tyrod Taylor, so the offense is just abysmal right now. They're not good. It's just not a good team whatsoever, and they're admitting they're not a good team after they traded away all their picks or all their players for picks. Who knows? The Miami Dolphins, though, are a team. They're a team that's on the rise right now. Now, I'm not going to put them in a playoff category, but if they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers this week, they'll be 7-7, and they are very much in the hunt to make the playoffs. As of right now, I'm going to put them in the I have no idea category as well, only because I want to see what they do this week. Steelers are coming off a big win versus the Ravens, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Monday Night Football, Acrisure Stadium. They're coming in. It's going to be ugly. We're supposed to get really bad weather here in Pittsburgh throughout the weekend, so it's probably going to be an ugly field. We'll see if the Miami Dolphins can play fast and play how they like to play in the conditions that they're going to get in Pittsburgh. If they do play even if they play well, I'm not even saying if they lose. If they look good, I may put them in a playoff category, to be honest. But if it's an ugly game, they only score 14 points and they look soft on defense, I may drop them down to mid or even trash. But right now, I have no idea about the Miami Dolphins. Ever since they got rid of Chris Grier, they have been on the rise. Ever since Tyreek Hill got hurt, they have been on the rise. I have no idea where to put them just yet. So I want to see what they do this week in a tough environment, in a cold environment, versus a team that, again, not the best, not very good. The Steelers still aren't very good, even though they beat the Ravens. But it's still a tough place to play with the elements, with how the defense is looking. We'll see what happens, though, as well, because we're learning that TJ Watt is in the hospital right now with a lung injury. I don't know what's going on there. But I want to see a little bit more from this Miami Dolphins team before I put them in a playoff category or even a mid category. Next up, we're going to talk about the Saints. This is a shocker. The Saints beat the Bucs 24-20, and yeah, I just can't believe it. I mean, this is a game that the Buccaneers, you have to win this game because now you're letting the Panthers kind of potentially win this entire division. I know that's very weird to say right now. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, for me, I'm going to still put them in a playoff category. They're getting everybody back pretty much besides Cade Otton. Mike Evans is back. They got Emeka Egbuka. They got Chris Godwin. They got Bucky Irvin back. Like, they're getting their whole complement of weapons back. If they play good tonight, firing on all cylinders like you think they should, they are 1,000% a playoff team. They do have to play, I believe they play the Panthers twice, and that's going to determine probably who wins the division. They play them twice in like the next 4 weeks. Those are going to be must-watch games for this division. But right now, I still have them in a playoff spot. Even though they just lost to the Saints, I can't believe it. The Saints right now, I mean, they got a big win, so I guess I'll put them in the trash category. The Saints are one of these teams that they're still fighting hard. And I don't think they should be. I really don't think. I think you should be tanking your ass off to try to get a quarterback in the next draft, but I think they're truly waiting to get Arch Manning. They're like, "Hey, let's be competitive this year, and then next year when Arch Manning comes out, or who knows, the next year, they're going to get the gist of it." But I think they're waiting for Arch Manning. I think that is their white whale. So as of right now, though, the Saints I will put in the trash category. Another game that was now listen, I'm going to say it's a shocker because of the injury. It's a shocker because of what happened. So the Jags beat the Colts 36-19. Daniel Jones gets down with an Achilles tear. Riley Leonard comes in. He gets hurt. Now the Colts are having to turn to a 44-year-old Philip Rivers who hasn't played football in 5 years. This is going to be ugly. And wow, for the longest time I had the Colts in the contender category, and they went from being 7-1, now they're 8-5, and it seems like things are not going the way that obviously the Colts wanted them to go. Sauce Gardner gets hurt after they trade two first-round picks for him. I still think the Colts are going to make the playoffs because as long as they have that good running game, but this is not a contender anymore. It's not. Even if you go to Anthony Richardson, it's not a contender. Philip Rivers does not make this team a contender. Unfortunately, teams are now going to be able to just load the box and stop Jonathan Taylor. It's bad right now. I felt that this was the team. I wanted to see the Colts and the Bills in an AFC Championship game. I thought that would have been electric, but right now it's a bad situation for the Colts. It is terrible. And the Jags, listen, I'm not going to say they're contenders. I can't see Trevor Lawrence leading this team to winning a Super Bowl, but their defense is looking very, very good. They got better with Jacoby Myers, bringing him in. I thought that they were going to struggle a little bit when they lost Travis Hunter, but no, they're looking very, very good on the offensive side of the ball, on the defensive side of the ball. Still have questions about Trevor Lawrence, though, but this is a playoff contending type team right now. While I can't see them winning the Super Bowl, this is a team that you probably don't want to play in the playoffs. It's one of them scrappy, frisky teams that you definitely do not want to play. So the Jaguars are making headway. They're making moves, and they can absolutely make me eat my words and push themselves up into the contender category. But right now, we will just stick with the playoffs. This game here, the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Baltimore Ravens 27-22. You have to be terrible to lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Terrible. After what happened to the Steelers versus the Buffalo Bills, where Buffalo was running the same exact play over and over and over and over again. And the Ravens, who have Derrick Henry, should have just did the same thing. But the Ravens, we are learning, are not a very good football team. They are going in the trash category. I actually, I am a betting man, but I actually think that they're going to lose this week to the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't think this is a very good team. And there's a lot going on right now with the team doesn't like John Harbaugh. And who knows what's going on? There's a lot wrong with this Baltimore Ravens team. They feel like they built a good defense. The defense is soft. Lamar Jackson's making bad decisions. Listen, I get it that you probably feel slighted by the refs in this game where you thought Isaiah Likely had a touchdown. But all in all, again, I made a big thing about this. If you put the game in the refs' hands and make them decide whether you win or lose, it is 1,000% your fault. Just expect to lose at that point. We all know that refs have no idea what they're doing. They are incompetent. So it is on you as a Raven fan, as a Raven player, putting the game in the hands of the refs. The Pittsburgh Steelers, I have no idea. This is going to be the same type situation. Basically, with the Dolphins and with the Steelers, whoever wins this game, or if it's a competitive game, if the Steelers win, I will bump them up to the playoff ranking right now. I will. If the Steelers lose, they're going to go to mid, they're going to go to trash. And it's the same thing for the Dolphins. This is a game right now that is going to determine who goes where in my power rankings. The Steelers are not a playoff contending team right now, in my opinion. While they may be on paper, the defense is bad. The offense just kind of took advantage of a bad Ravens defense. I got to see more. I really got to see more. It's, I don't know. The Steelers bug me. That's all I'm going to say. Denver Broncos is our next game. Denver Broncos end up beating the Raiders 24-17. Raiders are dookie. Having Brock Bowers back is nice. Brock Bowers is a great player. He's basically scoring a touchdown every single game now. He's a great connection piece for Geno Smith, but Geno Smith is not very good whatsoever. So, yeah, I mean, we all know what the Raiders are right now. They're just not good. Quarterback play is not good. Got rid of Chip Kelly. Who knows what's happening with Pete Carroll, if this is even going to be, if he's even going to be the coach next year. Who freaking knows? And then the Denver Broncos, listen, you may not like it. You may think that they're winning too ugly and it's not a sustainable pace throughout the playoffs, but they're doing it. They're winning games, and that's literally all you can do right now in the NFL. I still feel that this is an absolute contender right now. Can I see them winning it all? Yes, but not as much as I can one other team in the NFL right now. But this is absolutely a contender. Somebody that, if things fall their way, if they get a magical game from Bo Nix, 1,000,000%, this team can win the Super Bowl. 1,000%. They have a good running game with RJ Harvey. They have a good defense. They just need Bo Nix to not put the ball in harm's way and to play like a first-round quarterback for who they drafted. The Packers beat the Chicago Bears 28-21. This was just a good game all around, and I think this was a case. So the Chicago Bears right now, I'm not going to say they're a contender after this game. I believe I had them in the contender last week, but they played a contender. We'll say that. The Chicago Bears played a contender, and they lost to it. And we're learning now that the Chicago Bears, they're just a playoff team right now. When it comes to consistently beating up on contenders, it's tough for them. They're not there yet. They're very good. They might be at the upper level of playoffs. If I had to rank all these tiers based off of like the teams and where I think they would be in the actual tiers, I think that you can make the argument that if there was a ranking right in the middle of playoffs and contender, the Chicago Bears would be right there. But the Green Bay Packers are just a different level, especially when things are firing on all cylinders for Jordan Love. We know how good the defense is. They held a very good offense for the Chicago Bears, only 21 points, which in the modern NFL was very, very good. The Chicago Bears just aren't there yet. They're still a playoff team. They're still a very, very good team. But we saw why the Green Bay Packers are ahead of them, why they're contenders, and why the Chicago Bears are not. Moving on, the Rams bully and beat up on the Cardinals. Cardinals are, I'm just gonna put them in trash right now. While I don't think they're fully dookie, they're not good. They're not a good team right now whatsoever. Michael Wilson's playing well in the absence of Marvin Harrison Jr. Trey McBride's still good. I like Jacoby Brissett. They ran into an absolute buzzsaw this week in the LA Rams. And listen, the LA Rams are the team that are in my win it all category. Listen, they had a bad game versus the Panthers. I feel like that was one of those trap games where they were looking ahead being like, hey, we can walk into Charlotte and just destroy the Panthers. Now Sean McVay's going to have them be like, you need to be ready for anybody. And guess what? They did that this week. They played the Cardinals, who are bad. They destroyed the Cardinals. That's exactly what they have to do. This is a team that is, this might be the only team. This is my only team that is in the win it all category. Spoiler alert for the rest of the video. The Texans versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Texans right now, my goodness, this defense is awesome. but I still have a little bit too many. I still have a little too many questions about the offense. The defense is incredible. I still have a lot of questions right now, so I'm only going to have them as a playoff team. But who do they play this week? Who do the Texans play this week? I want to see, because if they're 8-5 and if they dominate the next team that they play, let's see. This week they play they play the Cardinals. That's the rest of their schedule is actually very, very well. Okay, the rest of their schedule for the next 2 weeks is very easy. Cardinals, Raiders, then they got to go play the Chargers, and then they play the Colts, which the Colts game now is kind of nothing. This is a very good Houston Texans team. I want to see these next 2 weeks versus two bad teams. The defense continue to do what they do and just bully. I need to see CJ Stroud. I need to see Woody Marks. I need to see Nico Collins, Dalton Schultz take that even further step. We know that they're good, but we need to see them put it all together. You need to do this week what the Rams did to the Cardinals last week. Bully them. Destroy them offensively, defensively. Leave no doubt that you're going to win this game. Don't let it get to the refs. Don't even let them hang around in this game. Destroy them. You do that, you will definitely be in the contender ranking. Right now, you're just in the playoffs. But you're teetering. You're absolutely teetering going upwards. You guys look awesome. And then the Kansas City Chiefs are mid. They're bad. They're not good. Travis Kelce's losing a step. Patrick Mahomes, who knows what's going on with him right now. Age is catching up to this team. They're not getting the calls like they used to. Patrick Mahomes gets hit around. He gets up and he's immediately complaining. He's not used to this type of play. He's not used to getting beaten up and bullied. He's used to being the bully with the refs behind him. Patrick Mahomes is used to being like the little brother who would pick on other kids at school, knowing that if you touched him or did anything, the big brother's going to beat you up, and the big brother was the refs. That's not happening anymore. They're not getting the calls. While the Kansas City Chiefs are not terrible, because they, at any moment, can turn it on and beat anybody. They really can. They're just not good right now. Right now, they're just not. They're mid. Very, very mid. I don't think anybody is scared of the Kansas City Chiefs right now like you used to be. But they can still beat anybody. Does that make sense? That's where I feel this mid ranking comes in. You're not really scared of the Cowboys, but they could absolutely beat you if they want, like if they put it all together. Same with the Bengals. Same with the Chiefs. Feel that these are teams that you're not scared of, but if you go into a game and you kind of sleepwalk a little bit, you're going to get surprised. But the Chiefs right now are bad. They're terrible. And in our final game for Monday Night Football, we had the Chargers shocking the world, beating the Philadelphia Eagles. Why did the Philadelphia Eagles throw the ball? I have no idea. I don't know where I want to put the Eagles. Listen, the Eagles are still 8-5 right now, so I have to put them in a playoff ranking because the defense is still so good. But oh my goodness, what is wrong with this? What is wrong with Jalen Hurts? I shouldn't even say what's wrong with the offense. What is wrong with Jalen Hurts? He's broken. He is a broken man right now. This team sucks. They really do. And if they didn't have that amazing start, my God, this would be even worse than it actually was. Figure it out. You are supposed to be a perennial Super Bowl contender. And right now, I have questions that even if you'll even win round one of the playoffs. I really do. You're just lucky you got a head start in that division, and the rest of the division, very bad. Dallas, obviously bad. Washington, bad. Like, you're lucky right now. You really are lucky. And the Chargers, they're contenders. Justin Herbert's hurt. I feel like he'll get healthier as the rest of the year progresses. They have a good running game. They're getting O'Marion Hampton back. Defense played very well. While I think they're on the lower end of contender, they're still a contender to win the Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to make it there. I don't think they're going to make that push to winning the Super Bowl, but they absolutely could. again, if things fall their way. They have the pieces in place that if things definitely fall their way, they can absolutely win the Super Bowl. And then our bye week teams for this week, these teams that were sitting at home, we're going to talk about, we'll go with the Giants first. Giants will just put in the trash category. They're kind of like the Washington Commanders. Too many injuries. It's ugly. You know how it goes for them. The San Francisco 49ers, I don't know. I'm going to put them just in playoff right now. I got to see a little bit more from Brock Purdy because the last couple times we've seen him, he's been a little sluggish. I get he's coming back from an injury, but I got to see a little bit more from him. The New England Patriots, definite 1,000% contenders to win the Super Bowl. I could even argue that they could probably go in the win it all category. I'm still just going to put them in contenders for right now. And then the Panthers. You know, last week I had them in the I have no idea category. And I'm going to put them there again. Because they'll win a game. They'll lose a game. They'll beat a great team. They'll get crushed by a great team. They'll beat up on a bad team. They'll lose to a bad team. I have no idea. No idea. And somehow this team can win the division. If the Bucs start slipping a little bit, if the Bucs lose tonight, the Panthers can 1,000% win this division. I have no idea about the Panthers right now. But they're kind of like the Steelers and the Dolphins for me, where they can move up easily into the playoff rankings. They can easily move back down to trash. No freaking idea. So those are my power rankings for after week 14 of the NFL season. Hope you guys have a great week. I will see you all tomorrow for an episode of the Hail Mary. Let me know where you guys feel I'm right. Let me know where you guys think I'm wrong about these rankings. And again, be sure to hit that subscribe button, the bell notification so you never miss another video. Follow us on all of our short form platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Shorts. You guys know where to find us. And again, check out hailmary.media. Read all of our blogs from me, Irby Brooks, Jersey Bill. We might be getting some more writers here soon as well. Who knows? But thank you guys so much for all the support so far. I very much appreciate it. Hit the like button. Share this video with a friend if you could. Help build out the community of Hail Mary Media. And check out our Patreon as well. I forgot to allude to that. Check out our Patreon if you want to be a part of the content. If you want to ask questions on the podcast, if you want to give suggestions for what we talk about on the podcast or suggestions for YouTube videos, that is all through the Patreon. Join the inner circle of Hail Mary Media. So thank you guys so much. I will see you all tomorrow for an episode of the Hail Mary. Peace out, guys. Have a beautiful week.